Good morning, everybody. Well, today I'm making a chocolate cake, just a basic chocolate cake, in honor of when the first cake was invented. They believe it came from England back in the 13th century when fruit cake suddenly was invented, plus gingerbread. Obviously, they invented cake around the Christmas season, and all kinds of things through the centuries created with cake. We're able to get birthday cakes now. I'm going to probably come up with a few more a little bit later. And here's Valentine's cake. I made a Valentine's cake. Different things you can do with cake. It's amazing. There's chocolate, there's vanilla, butter, you name it. There's all kinds of cakes. So to honor of the first cake invented, I'm going to make a basic chocolate cake. I'm going to start with 2 cups of all-purpose flour, sugar. I'm sure they had flour back in those olden days also, but the fruit cake was definitely the first cake invented. All right. Just enough sugar in there. We have more, not to worry, folks. 2 cups of sugar. Nice sweet, we're going to get more sugar out later. I'm always make sure I have a supply of it. Next step I want to do is I want to add in 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. It's amazing how things get invented in different centuries. 1 3/4. Try to follow the recipe to the T, okay? 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. Now the next thing is I want to add in this 3/4 cup of Hershey's cocoa. My grandmother swore by this. We did something in honor of Hershey several weeks ago. Here we go. Cats are going nuts. I think we have birds eating out of our feeder today. Okay. There we go. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to add in my baking powder and baking soda. You have to have both in this recipe. Okay, I want to get my teaspoon. Let's see if I can find that teaspoon because I have a habit. My eyes are not the best in the morning. 1. There we go. And 1/2 teaspoon. Let me just find that. Come on. You gotta be here someplace. Always missing something. Oh, my goodness. Add 1/2 teaspoon, but we got it now, folks. You gotta make sure the recipe is done exactly by what the recipe is calling for. Now I'm going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And I want to get rid of everything because my mind is not quite alert in the morning. 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda. Here we go. Get rid of all this stuff because I have a habit when you're not awake in the morning, you don't want to accidentally do the wrong thing. Okay, now what I want to do now is we have a smidgen of salt. There we go. My son always has a habit of putting things away. Just a little bit of salt. Here we go. When they say you have to add something, you have to add it. All right, now I'm going to grab my whisk, mix this together, and grab my wooden spoon because that's going to come in handy in about 5 minutes. Now, what I want to do now is go to the wax. I have to keep the here plugged in because cats have a habit of grabbing things. 2 eggs. There we go. It's very interesting how things are actually invented in different centuries in different countries. And through the centuries, obviously, cake became more, wedding cakes, birthday cakes, millions of different kinds of cakes. 1 cup of milk and 2 eggs. There we go. 1/2 cup of oil. I just got to find that measuring cup. Oh, God, folks, I don't know. I'm just not with it today. 1/2 cup of oil. All right, now what we're going to do now is put this over here, and we're going to mix the wet together and add in the dry, and then we're going to grease the pans. One time we grease the pans, and I think what happens sometimes the grease just absorbs or whatever. Okay, one more thing I want to add in is vanilla extract. One more thing, folks. It has a habit of spilling. I'm adding in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Okay, 2 teaspoons of vanilla is going in here. The vanilla, it chances it. 1, 2. Here we go. Just want to make sure we have our vanilla because, it just adds something to it. And if you want, sometimes to even enhance it, we could add in maybe a 1/4 cup or so of coffee. All right, now, the next thing is I'm going to add in my dry. We'll do it very slowly. Okay, this is extremely dry. Now we're going to add the water in. Okay. What you do? What I want to do now is grease these round cake pans. I want to do when I'm ready to put the batter into the cake pan, because there's a reason for this. One time we wet it, and sometimes things often absorb. So we're going to grease these pans. Tons of grease. Use Crisco. I'm just about done greasing this thing. I want to make sure we have enough flour grease in here so this doesn't stick. Because cakes have a habit, especially when it's hot outside and humid, of sticking. Make sure we have enough in here. A little bit more for my own comfort zone. Here we go. Okay, now we're going to put the batter in here. And also we have to let it cool for quite a while, because try to do it as even as much as you can. Millions of different kinds of cakes we actually have. You wouldn't believe it. Marble cake, fruit cake, you name it, we have it. Okay. Pop this in the oven. We're going to put it for about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay. Oh, this is what's wonderful. This came from cake that was invented in the 13th century. All kinds of cakes we can actually make. It's just so incredible. Here's a coconut cake that I created, a banana cake that I created, a lemon cake that I created. And this looks like I decorated with beautiful cherries on it. Just a wonderful thing you can do with cake. It's just absolutely amazing. Raspberry. I made a raspberry cake a long time ago. But also cupcakes, folks, is a miniature version of cake. Just smaller cakes that you put in little cupcake tins. But it's just amazing what you can do with cake. It's just absolutely amazing. I'm making a chocolate cake. It's a basic milk chocolate cake that I choose to make. I'm using a knife because I don't want to try to spatula. The spatula might be a little bit too heavy on this. I'm just spreading it out. Okay, now, fun thing is going to be, we're going to dazzle it with some sprinkles. There we go. A lot of the time you see this in the bakery where they just dazzle it with sprinkles. Alright, and here we have milk chocolate cake. It's a little bit crumbly today, folks. Some of it did fall apart a little bit because sometimes, no matter what you do in humidity, it just sticks. Okay, I'm going to add a little more sprinkles on here. And here we have, in honor of the first cake that was ever invented in the 13th century from England. The first cake was a fruit cake and gingerbread. From Deborah Home Country Kitchen. Have a great day. Please subscribe to my wonderful YouTube channel.